All right, so in the last video, I said I would just go right on to making another video of the actual framework I'm working on. So here it is. It's at, how does this min browser work? It's at studio.codevideo.io. And basically, we've got our actions, we call them, in the CodeVideo world. And then this would be how this is more of just like a preview. The goal at the end would be that you define these actions and you literally click a button and the video is generated on the back end. But this is also useful too, because some people don't like video. They like learning like visually. But I can explain like what's missing and what still needs to be done. So that's that's the V001, that mouse there. I use that SVG, but the hook and all that is not incorporated here yet. As you saw, I'm just making it right now. But yeah, you can. This has like, let's say the bare minimum pieces for. It's only single file as well. I have to bring in I have a virtual file system. That one was fun too. But yeah, let me just get into it. So we have like speak actions, and those show up as kind of like like movie style, video style captions here, but this is an actual element. And then yeah, we have like typing actions. So yeah, you see that's the V1 of the mouse. The mouse is totally useless right now. But yeah, and then we have you can go back, enter. So it's very granular. And that's something I'm still fighting with, is from a use case perspective, it's nice to have like larger actions, because like nobody wants to actually put like enter, right? I mean, maybe you should just include it like directly in the like a new line in the code itself. So I'm still figuring out how I want to exactly define it, but for sure what will be allowed is the granularity will always be compatible. So you can always do this. It's just annoying from a use case to have to define literally every step. But yeah, I think, did I upload my Rust? I had the blank Rust, but I didn't. I had a larger example I wanted to make from Advent of Code. I did in Rust. Yeah, let me see if I can pull it out. I'm explaining this horribly, but basically this is just the UI for all this is. Like, maybe it looks super complicated and crazy, like how the heck would you do that? But it's, at the end of the day, it's just a JSON of strict, and I'm strict with this, name and value, string, done. It's up to the consuming applications and the framework itself to handle that. And you will see, like, for example, in the last video with the mouse, that will be a huge array of X and Y coordinates, right? And then like click actions and everything in between. And those will just sit here. Like the name will be like mouse move, value, huge string of well, it's also time too, because you have the speed. So it'll be the X, Y, and time just here. I mean, it won't look pretty, but when I build my SaaS, I always like to have kind of like a central JSON, just because it's so portable. You have this and you can go anywhere. Like I have the way this actually gets built, like these frames, that's a separate library in the background that understands and consumes this JSON type. I mean, it has TypeScript with interfaces and everything, but you can go anywhere with that. In the backend generator, like I post this JSON and then it consumes it. So that's anyone who's starting out. Well, he has the bit of gold like 20 minutes into the video. No, but for anyone starting out, my recommendation is that you focus on something like a central type that is portable and you can use everywhere. Because you can also do it. Then you can do it vertically, right? Like if you know your main. I mean, of course, you'll have more than one type in a complex app and things. But if you can define your, let's say, 2 to 3 main types, or in my case, just one. I try and keep it one. Then you can define your database how the database schema is going to look, how, like I said, like the API calls, if you're doing REST, posting this shape or consuming it or whatever. And then of course anywhere else where you need it, all that, like the glue and the libraries that go around the type. But yeah, can also do that. I think the C# one is broken, so you can get an idea for how beta this stuff is. But that's also super cool, is that you can redefine, of course, like let me go to where does the hello world step is here. Like let me explain what I'm talking about. So if you jump to the end, yeah, you see it's a bit broken. This one's a bit more advanced because, like, yeah, I commented out and I say like, oh, let's put a variable instead. But anyway, you can jump to the end of your lesson basically and see if the code, basically that the code that you want to write for the lesson is correct, right? And it's immediately, I should be careful how I say this. It's immediately generative. So if I type Bob here, it appears there immediately because of this background thing. The background framework is just producing. It's just going through the steps. It's just a virtual editor. In the future, I want to hook this up to abstract syntax trees for each of the languages, and almost every language has some sort of virtual, where you say like, I have virtually programmed CS with this source code. Then it gets more complicated because you need to do things like tree abstractions. Like if you're doing it's not just a rename like a normal editor, but it's a rename through time and into the future from the point of that edit. I think it's possible, but it takes a lot of work. And right now I'm focusing more on, beta everything, get the groundwork up, and then do the fancy stuff later, as one should when doing solo development. But yeah, like that's basically this framework. And then let's even like we can insert another step. Way too many here. What is the type editor? You can see how little I've used my own editor, but we're only on that step. Comment under that line, but we'll need to enter. But this will throw off the whole because it goes something like, yeah, here we go. Because of the braces. Yeah, but you can see how valuable that might be. For example, like if you're building a course and then you realize, oh, I forgot to include that variable, right? Yeah, you're gonna have to edit it, but you're only gonna have to modify that step, and then theoretically that's what is coming with the AST. Like it would fix all further steps. Oh, okay, now you have this variable. But either way, like for me, I've already used this. I mentioned the Rust video. Maybe I'll do yet another video to do that. But I used it to help me kind of draft and scaffold the lesson itself. It's like a memoized. I think it's recursive too. It was one of the challenges that I thought was quite elegantly solved for the advent of code. But I used it to structure the course and when I speak and all that. And as soon as I get my act together, and because I have a backend generator, I just need to hook up the API and everything. Then you just click boop, and then you get a button. And then it goes further and further. You can imagine like, oh, I want a different voice for my video, or I don't know, who knows. You could even change the syntax highlighting, like the color scheme, the editor theme. And the cool thing is, at the end of the day, you always still have like as an owner of these lessons, you have your lessons. So if something changes with how you want to explain the code, you can, it's like a library. And instead of re-recording and then patching it in the video, you have everything you need. So I don't know. I think it's cool. Hopefully others will too. Or you may all think that I'm crazy. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. Maybe, yeah, I'll try and get the, I have to look at the Rust example, but maybe that will be my next video. Maybe not just the Rust example, but the actual video generated by the Rust example. The problem is there, everything's so beta. I still need like the terminal comments, things like that. Or not terminal comments, the commands to appear here. Like I said, the tree in the last video, the file tree is messed up or doesn't exist. And that I need for the Rust example, because the Rust example is a full, like, starting from scratch. I mean, I could just modify and make it a single file, but that's boring, right? It would be cool to actually, it would be the first video with this framework where I actually physically run the software in the terminal. But maybe that's too big of a step. All right, well, I think that's it. Enjoy. And I can also give you one other, wow, this Min browser is weird. One other Scooby snack is just in the root domain, CodeVideo.io. It's also a little bit broken, but this one is really an in-browser. That's cool. It's a WASM FFmpeg that will type out your. So let me click generate, and I'll snap to when it takes a little while because it's FFmpeg, like I said, in the browser, so it uses a lot of memory and it's pretty slow. Okay, so we're back. Took about, actually, missed like 5 seconds. Didn't take actually that long, but it's a very small example. But yeah, you have basically it's a little bit small. This is like a complete in-browser solution. But for now, you see, like, I think the highlighting is not even that good. There's a bug with the syntax highlighting, and then I have other options. You can change the background and other stuff. You can make it square, portrait. Oh yeah, and you can do typos. Let me go back to landscape. Do the typos, and then generate, and we're back again. So let me show you the typo thing. Oh, did it it may have reset the state. Let me I think when you click make another, it resets. Often done. The typos are broken, but that's also a very cool thing. It will, like, fake a typo and then delete it. So there's another bug in the UI, but that's also, the typo thing will be yet another library to be encapsulated. And yeah, but yeah, for me, like I said, I somehow am back in the flow. Got the spark back to be making content and building cool software. So let's do it. I'm gonna hopefully be around more often, 2025 and beyond. So take care, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. And definitely, you've seen it's buggy, but if you find like a major issue or something's like completely broken, just make an issue on the GitHub. Happy to help. Happy to fix all this stuff. All right, cool. Take care, everyone. Enjoy. Have a nice Saturday, or wherever and whenever you are watching this. Bye-bye.